Yo, what's good everybody? It's us for Kicks here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a real versus fake on the Union and BEPHIE'S Beauty Supply Jordan 1 woven. Let's go ahead and check them out. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to check out are the boxes. The right is going to be the retail straight from the Union site. The left is actually going to be the rep pair from Rose. Information right there on the screen, so you can go ahead and check them out. First thing you'll notice, and hopefully it's more apparent on the camera as well, the yellow right here towards the bottom of the box for retail is definitely more vibrant and brighter than the print right here on the bottom, the yellow part for the rep box. Next thing I want to point out is the box size. Now the right being retail, it is always longer and wider than the rep one here on the left, which is shorter in length and width. This is all across the board. I'm pretty sure for all my real versus fake. Not really sure if it's to save on shipping costs or what it is, but that is something definitely to point out if you have them side by side. Next, we're going to take a look at the tissue paper, right being the retail, still in the box, left is going to be the rep. Now you can see right here, even the sizing, there's a big discrepancy between the retail being a lot longer than the rep one right here being shorter. The tissue paper does not cover the top of the whole box, the retail box, like retail obviously does. As far as print and everything goes, it looks to be the same. I will say that the font for Air Jordan looks to be smaller than the font right here. You can see the A's next to each other. The rep one is a whole lot smaller. Getting into the actual shoes, left being retail, laced up with the white and gray. Right being rep, laced up with the aqua blue, teal, whatever color you want to say. Right here looking at the gray around the ankle collar, you can see retail is slightly darker than the rep one. Small thing, even hard to see side by side, but right now in this lighting I can tell. Wings logo, you can see that it is a deeper embossing on the retail than the rep one right here. It's also a little glossier. Now this is something kind of small because on foot it's really hard to see, but side by side you can definitely tell right here. Placing is actually pretty good. Retail does vary. You can see it kind of touches the stitching here, but then it doesn't on this side right here on the bottom. Same goes for here. Really close to the top stitching, really close to the bottom stitching not touching. This is something that definitely varies all across the board for reps and retails. Union LA tag, we've seen that plenty of times, nothing too crazy. Stitching right here looks to be pretty close to similar. You can see the stitching stops right here at the little stitch line there and doesn't go over it like some of the reps I've seen. Same goes for the retail. You can see the retail is slightly more vibrant, more blue and less of the Tiffany colorway right here on the rep. Again, unless side by side, really hard to tell. Leather itself is a soft white tumbled leather, both really soft. You can tell once just touching it, it's the same. Nothing really to point out there. That goes for the lace guard and everything. You can see the little yellow hits here on the underside of all the cuts. You can even see the gray swoosh. Looks to be the same, both of them pointing up. They're not pointed or crooked or curved or hooked or anything like that. They're both pointing straight up, and that's in like a soft gray nubuck. You can see the big identifier of the shoe is this stitching that goes all the way across the shoe. Side by side, the color looks to be pretty on point as far as that goes, and I can't really see anything that really differs from retail and this as far as the actual weaving that they did. Even if you get really close, you can tell that it does look identical as far as the weaving pattern and all of that. Looking at the outsoles, bottom being retail, top being rep, you can see it is the same off-white, beige, tan kind of colorway with the Nike hit right there in the center. Nothing I can really point out there. Checking out the toe boxes, you can see they both have that nice pebbled white tumbled leather, super soft to the touch, you can feel it. You have the yellow lining that looks to be the same colorway and everything, same thickness and all that. You have the stitching that here goes around the toe box, you can see that. Moving up to the tongues, they both seem to be the same kind of peachy, off-white, yellow, tan colorway. It's hard to see the stitching just because retail is laced up a little higher, but once again you can see it is a more vibrant color than the rep. Not by much, but side by side you can kind of tell. Tongue tag, also you can see it looks a little bigger here on the rep than the retail. You can tell that it is a lighter gray on rep than retail. Retail has a darker gray, and then it still has Nike, the swoosh, and Air both in white. Going to the inside, you can see the exposed foam here on the retail pair is thinner than the exposed foam on the back for the tongue of the rep pair. You can still see the gray mesh, everything's similar there. Same goes for the teal blue insoles with Nike, the swoosh, and Air both in white. Obviously, it's a left and right shoe, so the actual print is flipped, but it is the same color and everything as far as that goes. Go over to the back side, left is going to be retail, right is going to be the rep. Once again, the embroidery right here in that teal blue is a little more vibrant as far as on retail than rep. That's less apparent when it comes to the little text here. It looks to be the same colorway. Not really sure why it's not the exact same color as that, but it is a different one, and I will note that. The stitching again seems to be the same color, and it seems to be, obviously it's reversed because once again it's left and right shoe, so it's inverse from each other, but it is the same kind of tumbled white leather. I will say that you can see that they are pretty close in height. I can't say there's really a difference. A lot of the times the Jordan 1 reps are a little taller than retail. That doesn't really seem to be the case here. We decided to finish it all off. Nothing really crazy as far as difference, just like the lateral side. You don't have the Wings logo on the side, so that's not really a difference. You still have the gray here. I do say that retail is slightly darker, but only by a little bit. The stitching right here is a little more vibrant on retail, but nothing super bright that you can really tell on foot. Swoosh is the same, gray nubuck. Same goes for the color and even the texture of the little stitching right here. And even the white leather that's really nice and tumbled and soft. Yellow hits, and even the color of the off-white, tan, beige, whatever color you want to say, for the midsole right here, all seems to be the same. Alright, so this one is a toss-up. Pretty much 50-50 at this point. A lot of people are hating on them still, just like before they officially released, and a lot of them, you know, they grew on them just like most hype shoes do. And I can't say that that doesn't apply to me, because before they released I was kind of iffy on them, and then I realized that it's a dope colorway. This is definitely different. It takes some time to get used to it, but once you do get used to it, it is, like I said, a really dope colorway. I got some teal or aqua laces, whatever you want to say, to match the stitching right there, so I'm going to throw those in, and I think that's going to be a really cool switch up. I've seen people keep these laces, but I've also seen them use the extra Union yellow ones. That's a really dope pick too. Personally, like I said, it is an interesting shoe. It doesn't stack up, in my opinion, to the original OG Jordan 1 Unions, the black toe and the, I can't even remember what the blue ones are called. It doesn't stack up to those because those are ultimately just really dope colorways, but this is close to a neutral gray, which is one of my favorite colorways Jordan 1 ever dropped. I have the 85s and the lows somewhere over there. So this is a really dope shoe, and I'm glad to have them in my collection. Alright guys, I think that's it for me today. Just like always, I really appreciate you coming over to the channel and hanging out for a bit. Until next time, I'm Dustin for Kicks. Peace.